folks, Mitch Boyle at Triple Double Sports Cards. That's tripledouble-sportscards.com. Last time around, PSA grades came back. Very disappointed for cards from 1970, what was that, 2 to 1978. Boo, on average they were 6s. This time around, I'd sent packs back late December, got them all back. 1974, 1977, 81, 82, and 1988. And the differences were quite dramatic. The grades were much, much higher on average. But today's video is going to be much more about your comments and sense of why these got the grades they did and what are the discrepancies and how do they grade packs versus cards. Cards are easy. Corners and surface and centering and edges, things like that, color. But packs is a little bit harder. I think we're going to see that. Now, you may know already how and why they grade packs the way they do. And if you do, please, please add your comments. But maybe we can kind of learn together today and have some fun while we're at it. And speaking of fun, stick around to the end because I'm going to have you guess what is a PSA 8 and what is a PSA 10. It'll be a blind guessing game. And the winner is going to receive, oh yeah, speaking of 88, this 1988 PSA Reggie Miller Rookie card. Now, I'll show it to you right next to my beautiful face. I'm better looking than Reggie by far. So that's kind of cool. And of course, we're going to have to use the optimizer because let's say we get 50 people who made guesses correctly. Then we'll do the drawing, if you will, or the optimizer and figure out who the winner is there. But that'll be fun. Probably going to run the contest for 2 or 3 weeks. That means if we get this video out sometimes mid to end of May, then we'll have a winner by the middle of June. And by the way, in June, we're going to have a huge anniversary sale. A lot to do with the packs that we're looking at. So make sure you take good notes on maybe packs that you want because we're going to be doing some monster discounts. We got a lot of packs back. I want to say it was over 230 packs back from PSA. All right, let's get started. The first 2 packs that we have are 1974. Now, I think there's only 260 total graded PSA 1974 packs. That was the year, tops. Came out with the George Gervin and Bill Walton rookie cards. So this is a pretty big deal. Let's take a look at these side by side. You'll see we have a 9, we have a 7, and at first glance, it's a little hard to tell the difference, but on these particular packs, it's a little bit easier, first of all, as you look closer. First of all, you're going to see the color and clarity, in my opinion, on the one on the left, which is, of course, the PSA 9. Oh, and by the way, the PSA 9, it is the only PSA 9 for a 1974 Topps basketball wax pack in existence. There are no others, and of course, there's nothing graded higher. So this truly is a 1 of 1. I'm going to put this on a special sale, but it won't be cheap come June, but it'll be maybe less than what I have it on eBay right now, which is about $6 grand. All right, so look at the differences. Now you can see color better here, a little bit more wiped out here. By that I mean soft, maybe even a little bit more blue so it doesn't jump. There's certainly some printing defects right here, more printing defects on the N in game card in, printing defect there on the G and on the E and on the E over here. Whereas on this one, there are no print defects at all. So then you ask why I didn't get a 10, who knows? Probably just because they say it's old and too bad for you. Let's take a look at the backs. And again, we're looking at 1974, 77, 81, 82, and 1988 packs today. Now this is where it gets really hard in my opinion. I truly can't tell why one would be getting a 9 versus a 7 when it comes to the backs. I'm not sure how PSA does it, but this one is certainly difficult for me to understand why. On the fronts on this one, anyway, it's pretty evident in my opinion. All right. Off to, and by the way, the 7s, I sold a 7 on Sunday night. This is the middle of May for 415 bucks, and I had sold an 8 a couple of weeks ago at over $500 on eBay. All right, let's go to the 1977 packs. These, I had gotten 2 boxes of packs graded back 2 years ago. What was interesting is I got quite a few 5s and 6s this go round. With this one box, I had no 5s, no 6s, all 7s and 8s. And I think there's only 9 9s that have ever been graded. So pretty happy about these returns. And there's a theme that I think you're going to hear about grading versus maybe cards that in packs, they might be a little more lenient. I don't know why, but we'll talk about that. And these 77s are examples of that, again, with no 5s or 6s. So looking at the difference between a 7 and an 8, it's really hard to tell. I think that little white dot is not on the pack. I think that's inside of the sealed plastic holder here. What's interesting about this 7 is that this is the only Robert Parrish that's on the back. It's a 1 of 1. There aren't any 8s, there aren't any 6s. This is the only 7. So Robert Parrish was probably the most valuable card for 1977 Topps basketball. It was his rookie year, and of course he's a Hall of Famer and won, I think, 3 championships with the Boston Celtics. Boy, again, can't really tell the difference. And in my opinion, I might want the 7 versus the 8. Maybe a little more corner wear here now that I'm looking at it. A little bit of corner wear there. Not so much here, but more wrinkling here, which is something I don't know if they take into account. I'd love your opinion again. Let's take a look at the backs. You can see the outline. Well, it's probably hard for you to see, but with my naked eye, sorry about my cap. I'm probably going to pop that in now and then as I try to lean over and see this. But that is definitely Robert Parrish. I can't tell the difference. As a matter of fact, this one really has an odd little wrinkle that you would say would discount the grading of it, but it doesn't. This is the 8 versus this being the 7. I like how this is framed better with the Portland Trail Blazer backpack. Say that 8 times fast. Is better. It's not only centered, but it's kept in the frame, whereas this one is cut off. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but I thought that was interesting. All right, done with 1977. Let's go to, oh, and remember, stay to the end, because we're going to tell you how you can win this 1988 PSA Reggie Miller Rookie card. It's graded PSA 8. All right, for 81-82, I thought this would be kind of fun. Let's spread these babies out, and we're going to look at the difference between 5, 6, 8, and 9. And I think that this one you're going to find very, very interesting. So there's the 5, there's the 9. Let's take a quick first glance. I think with the 5, if you follow my eyes over to my right, you'll see a little tear right there. That makes it pretty obvious why that would have been downgraded. Now, outside of that, as we look at all of these, I see some wrinkling here on the front of, and that is, I'd almost call it warping, where there's a dip in the difference between the gum and the card. This one's pretty smooth on top. Now this one, the PSA 9, look at that giant wrinkle across there. I don't know why that wouldn't make this a lower grade, but obviously it did not. There's not much to be said about these packs as far as centering. The color and clarity is pretty good. The centering on this might be considered low. Maybe this is the way everybody thinks they should be centered, or at least PSA does. I don't know. If it were me, as I look at 5, 6, 8, and 9, to me, this 8, look how smooth the top of it is. No wrinkling. I can't see any edges that have shown any wear to speak of. That would be the one, if it was a blind judgment, I'd say is the highest grade. It's got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the back as well. Quick look to the backs on these. And I hope I'm centering these okay. Oh, Fred Brown's on this one. I'm looking at possible flaws in how it's sealed, or maybe some tearing or some ink damage. Again, please subscribe, but most of all, well, likes are okay too, but your comments. Why do you think these got the grades they did? I'll turn them back over again, and here's what they look like, 5 through 9. And as a matter of fact, just for the fun of it, let's pop these out and compare the 5 and the 9. Now, what's interesting is I just sold a 9 for, I don't know, 230, 250 bucks. I sold a 7 a while back for 100. I'm going to say that a 5 would go more like 80, 90 bucks, maybe 100, somewhere in there. But I can't see double the perfection, I hope that's the right word, here, even though the price for the 9 is going to go for actually 2.5 times more than the 5 would. It's really interesting. I guess this tear may be the real reason, but if that's the case, then I would submit 6. because the difference between a 5 and 6 in terms of cost is very, very similar. And look at the 6. Get that little hair off there. Look at the 6 and the 9. Again, maybe it's the centering. Maybe they like them higher. I don't know. I kind of like it this way. So anyway, something to discuss on the comments. Please leave your comments about what you're seeing here. All right, let's go to 1988. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at Jordan stickers. These are the backpacks that have the Jordan sticker on the back. And by the way, how much are one of the PSA 10 stickers? I don't know, I want to say it's something insane like 100 grand or they're almost impossible to get. I'll bet you the population on those is like 3. We have a Jordan sticker back that's a PSA 10 and a Jordan sticker back that's PSA 8. And at first glance, you know, it is so hard for me to tell. I will even say this. If you look at Fleer All-Star cards, look at how there's, it's nice and solid. There's no blurring. Whereas this one, in my opinion, there's blurring all the way around it, but it got the 10. So maybe it's supposed to be blurred, or maybe it's a shadowy effect or something. I don't know what you'd call that. Now, the 1988 Jordan PSA 10, much better centered. This cuts off the 8s and the 9 and the 1 at the top. So that has to be something. Oh, and by the way, I graded 3 boxes of these 2 years ago. I got 110 out of whatever that is, 108 packs. Is that what that is? Yeah, I think so. This time I got 9 10s. I didn't get any Jordan 10s before. And this time I got 2 Jordan 10s. And again, I did 3 boxes, what it was 3 months ago, and then 3 boxes 2.5 years ago. So by numbers strictly, and by the way, those boxes all came from the same exact case. So how has the grading changed? Has it gotten a little bit softer? I don't know. The math would say perhaps. All right, let's take a look at the back. And maybe you've noticed this. Maybe you're buying packs or you've submitted them and you've seen some grading changes, and maybe you're not seeing the same thing, and maybe I just got lucky. I don't know. So here's the 8 and the 10 again in the Jordan sticker back. And the only thing I see on the 10 here is I like how this is sealed a little bit better, where you see a little bit more of the yellow, how it's folded in as if, you know how people wrap gifts and the edges are really nice and they're not popping out all over the place, and it's, you hide the tape and all that kind of stuff. This one looks a little bit cleaner the way it's put together with the seal. So that is that. Now we have one more pair to go, and this is where the contest begins. Again, take a look at the 8, take a look at the 10, because I'm going to ask you to do it again. But in this particular case, you're going to tell me which one you think is the 8 and which one you think is the 10. And that will be your chance to win this Reggie Miller PSA 8 Fleer Rookie card, 1988. So, which one is the 8? Which one is the 10? This is the, we'll call this one, the left one. It's my left, and this one, my right. So when you put your comment down saying whatever it is, the 8 is on the left or the 10 is on the left, make sure you write that down. My comment is that it's the 8 on the left and the 10 on the right, or the 10 on the left and the 8 on the right. You got that? So let's flip these over, and here are the backs of these packs. Not that it's been making a lot of difference. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Again, left, right. Which one's the 8? Which one's the 10? I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of people guessing. It's 50% chance you're gonna win, so why not? And then we'll take the randomizer like we did last time. We'll put all the correct answers in, and then we'll pick one winner of that Reggie Miller rookie card. So that's it for today. Please, again, first of all, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the likes, but mostly your comments, more so than anything we've had, because grading packs, I'm finding, I don't know why or how this works the way it does. And so if you've had some experience with this, please let me and all the viewers know as well. So on behalf of my son, who's doing all the editing and certainly helped me with some of the reveals, Kellen, I'm Mitch Boyle. We're Triple Double Sports Cards. That's tripledoublesportscards.com.